Hello, I am Adrian Pickering. I'm the Regional General Manager for Red Hat in Middle East and North Africa. So first of all, it's really great to be back at GITEX this year in person. To see all the people wandering around the exhibition and stopping at the various stands is fantastic. We are here with our stand this year, showcasing quite a range of solutions that we're providing into public and private sector across the Middle East and North Africa region. Encompasses everything from automation technologies to make sure software environments can operate in a very effective manner. We're doing cloud integration solutions so that companies can make the journey into the open hybrid cloud and move their applications into the cloud. And of course, last but not least is the Red Hat Enterprise Linux operating system, which is pretty much deployed across all of the large data centers around the world, allowing governments, airlines, banks, and so on to operate very, very effectively with a very robust operating system. So it's been a very interesting couple of years, of course, having gone through the COVID phase. That phase, or during that pandemic and the lockdown, has really forced organizations, again, both public and private, to look at how they can adapt their operations, their IT operations, to ensure business continuity. And that can mean, enabling employees to work remotely from home, which everybody had to adapt to. Or it could mean providing new services to citizens to allow them to interact with the government departments remotely as well. So that has been quite an interesting period of time for many organizations and technology. What we've been doing there is providing, again, across our range of our solutions that we have, working with both public and private sector to enable them to step up and meet that challenge. And so, for example, with our OpenShift, which is our application development technology, I could name a number of instances where, government departments have built applications, for example, to allow you a permit to travel. If you go back in the early stages of the COVID, with the lockdown, you had to get a permit to travel here in the UAE, and that was built on OpenShift by one of the federal government departments here in the United Arab Emirates. So, there's many things that have challenged both public and private sector, and during that period, and so they've had to adapt to that challenge. Now, as we're coming through the COVID crisis, I think that technology per se is really at the boardroom level. It's no longer just a CIO or a CTO whose concern is technology. It's a boardroom topic. Most large organizations have chief digitization officers on board, and they're looking at how they can apply technology to get closer to their customers, to introduce new products or new services, to make interaction with the public sector a lot more efficient. And from our perspective in Red Hat, we just see that trend continuing as more and more nation states around the region become aware of how important digitization and technology is for their competitiveness at a nation or national level in the region. Yeah, so we're very excited about that coding initiative. One of the things we certainly see and have seen for a number of years is that you need people who can actually develop applications, right? You need developers. We've worked with developer communities for many, many years because they utilize some of the products, some of the tools that we have to innovate and really develop new code. So, to see that initiative launched at a national level, from our perspective, is fantastic. It really is a reinforcement of what we've already been doing with developer communities. And the other thing for Red Hat specifically, being a company, an enterprise software company with an open source development model, this allows these young folks who are learning these development skills to contribute to overall open source development projects on a global basis. And that's very, very exciting for us. It's just going to mean that open source is going to become increasingly relevant, and it's going to mean that solutions delivered on an open source basis are just going to continue to innovate in a much more rapid pace. So overall, very good news, and we're glad to be a part of that initiative.